I'll be happy.
Hey, we're live on the air.
Quiet, you.
When I'm supposed to talk, I'm a host.
Oh, folks, how about if we start a podcast?
How about that?
Let's do it.
Hit a record button, play a little music. Here we go. Well, thank you for joining us on a Thursday evening, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. We're going to talk about caches and cachers unique to this little corner of the country. So while you're complaining about the weather, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Oh, that's right. And that means it's time to bring in our scurvy sea monkey. Some say he has a genetic mutation that allows him to smell Tupperware. And others say if you scratch him, you wouldn't want to sniff that. But it smells like maple syrup. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Damn dirty ape. All right, yeah. We want to thank our faithful Denali level supporters right off the start. That would be Limax, Team Squirrel, and worldcaching.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, this very podcast, make sure to click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. That's right over there on the left-hand side when you're over at cachingnw.com. Yeah, right over there where Witsand was pointing.
Over there on the left. They see me pointing on the audio podcast.
Yeah, listen carefully.
Point loudly.
We should pass the microphone.
Yeah.
Point louder. All right. So, hey, you know what, guys? For tonight's show, we have a very special guest coming on. We are going to talk about Metro Vancouver Parks, and we're going to introduce our guest in a little bit. I'm going to give you a little sneak here. His name's Peter, and he's there, and he's being really patient.
Yeah.
All right. But we're going to get to that in a few minutes. First of all, we're going to go through some of the usual crap we go through in the beginning of the podcast every time. You guys are used to it. We want to tell you about glows and news and all kinds of stuff. So, speaking of glows, Caching in the Northwest, as always, has a badge to spruce up your geocaching.com profile page. Submit a glow or geocaching log of the week, and you can have a very own glow badge of your very own. You can keep it, you can hug it, you can love it, you can nurture it and grow it into your very own. I don't know what a glow badge grows into. It's like Pokemon.
Into a great log. Because whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. Send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com. Of course, you can call in to 253-693-TFTC or use that handy-dandy voicemail tool right there on the website and show us how you glow, just like radiation.
That's right. We appreciate all of our listeners that send in these glows. Tonight's was sent in by a mystery. Actually, we don't know who sent this in. Maybe we found it on our own. Maybe it just fell into our box. But that doesn't mean you can't submit one. This glow is from a cache GC77HEA called Still North of Toronto. And the log was written by PTLD 2016. I think that's Portland 2016, but if I wasn't as tired and had more energy, I could come up with some really creative reason for that acronym. But let's say it's Portland 2016. That sounds good to me.
Long description.
Oh, there you go. So the log reads, a red letter day, 1,000 caches, hooray! Recognized host's name, could it be one and the same? Name heard on podcast just 2 days before last. IHAM's heading for old caches. Went weeks ago. No rehashes. Talked for a while. Common memories we reconcile. Need to report my milestone. I'll take my cell phone. IHAM provided business card. Didn't want it to be hard. I'll have to remember. Now, not September. What a great milestone day. and meeting Iham, his sobriquet. Sharing achievement with friends, no thought of a Benz. I can talk geeky too. Old techno lingo, I normally eschew. Snacked on Timbit's foe, joked about often on show. This poem's getting long. Your stomach's how strong? This evening's come to an end. Glad I could attend. And she wraps up. He wraps up. She, I think it's she. Thanks for hosting. It was nice meeting you. Lest you think I spend all my time logging caches, it's something I do for significant events such as milestones, lonely caches, and cache owners I specifically want to thank. It makes them more memorable for me, too. Have fun tomorrow at GC 12 and 17. So, timely little note there for that log. So that was great.
That was from Iham's event, and he's the one who submitted the log or the glow for that one.
Sent in from Iham. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah, so he gets a second glow badge.
All right. That's a glow squared.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, and that's me. Sorry.
So, if there's a milestone cache you're looking to celebrate, why not call it in to 253-693-TFTC and share it with the entire Northwest community, much like our very own Glow Rider of the Day, PTLD 2016. In fact, we have some audio that I would just love to play here. Let's listen.
My name is PTLD 2016 from Portland. I'm calling to report a milestone, a goal, and an event that occurred on Sunday. So the milestone is I reached my 1,000th cache, and that was GC3BWNA, Month Streak of Mysteries Challenge. And then from that, I reached my goal, which is the Millennial Year Challenge, GC38XV4, which is achieving 1,000 caches in your first year of caching. And then after that, I had the pleasure of meeting Iham at an event, at his event in Newburgh, Oregon. Thanks.
There you go. 1,000 caches in your first year. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well done.
Nice. Well, fellow cacher L. Eaton, or Leeton, emailed and said they hit their 12,000th geocache.
Wow.
So hooray to them. 12,000. Wow.
Yeah. Send us that log.
Yeah.
Send us
all the 12,000 logs, and we'll go through them and pick out the one we like.
Or don't.
Oh.
Send them to
One or two
Chris of the Northwest.
At I'mNotGonnaReadThis.com.
He's apparently got all the time in the world.
What else am I going to do with my life? Hey,
Hey.
I read a news article. Now, the name of the city is what got my attention, but when I realized it wasn't in the Northwest, I still wanted to keep it in just because there's one point here. So this came from the Aberdeen News, and no, it's not the Aberdeen you think it is. Police believe a suspicious object found in a tree in Melgard Park Monday evening was a container used for geocaching. Geocaching is where containers are placed in certain locations and registered on websites, and others can find them in types of scavenger hunts.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you should really try it. It's cool stuff.
Okay.
This container, however, wasn't registered on any geocaching website. Police Chief David McNeil said this morning the cylinder was wrapped in camouflage tape and wire covered with a lid, leading officials to believe it could have been a pipe bomb. Okay, we read about pipe bombs or geocaching containers that are blown up because they're suspected to be bombs all the time. However, this one, what triggered me is this container, however, wasn't registered on any geocaching website. That means the police went and looked.
Good for them.
And I thought it was a fabulous move. You don't often hear about that. You know, they blow it up not knowing what it was. And
Right.
Oh, look, it's a geocache. You can go look there. But these police officers in this Aberdeen went and looked.
Well, that's good because then they can realize that someone didn't send them up the bomb.
Mhm.
or in this case, did. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Well, in any case, it sounds like that one ended well. Nobody was hurt, so it wasn't a real pipe bomb.
As
Or
well as could be expected. Yeah.
yeah, if it was, it was defused. Anyway, but we've said it many times on the podcast before. If you're going to hide a great geocache, probably not a great idea to make it look like a pipe bomb. Just saying. Maybe that's the theme. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Pipe bomb themed caches. That could be the next summer challenge, or not.
Find
Yeah.
100 pipe bomb themed caches for a challenge cache.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend against that.
Okay.
Coming up this weekend, though, this weekend is the launch of the SOS Sustainability of Spokane Geotour. It's not, a call for distress. It's Sustainability of Spokane. And we're going to talk with Lookout Lisa next week
Awesome.
about this and about a lot of things happening over in Spokane. There's some great events over there. But this weekend, Friday, July 14th, that's tomorrow night as we speak, and it may be at some distant point in the past as you listen to this episode. But if you're listening live, it's tomorrow night, Friday, July 14th, from 3 to 5 p.m. There's an SOS meet and greet at the Waste to Energy plant with free tours.
You can take your own waste home with you.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds kind of interesting. I always find those places fascinating where they're taking waste and
I do too. Almost any big industrial plant, I find fascinating how things work.
Oh.
6:30 to 8:30 p.m. There's a GeoTour pre-launch barbecue. And again, I've not met a barbecue I didn't like. And then at sunset, we're in the Northwest when sunset happens after 8:30 p.m. in the summer. First SOS cache publishes, and it's a night cache.
Nice.
I really love a good night cache. So, how appropriate to launch that one at sunset. Next day, Saturday, July 15th. It doesn't list it here, but I recommend you go out for some chipped beef on toast breakfast. To stay with the theme. From 9 to 11 a.m. after you've had that, there's the SOS Sustainability of Spokane GeoTour launch. And at 3 to 7 p.m., there's a new cave meetup.
That's the new cache cave.
Yeah.
They've moved in Spokane.
Again. Have they moved
Yes.
again?
Believe it's been within a year.
I have visited 2 cache cave locations.
Oh.
And when I was there at the last one, it was the new cache cave, but it sounds like this is another new cache cave because I think it's been over a year.
It's newer.
Okay.
Those guys really move around.
It's a big business over there.
Mm-hmm.
Got to keep things jumping and moving.
Both locations have been excellent and had some great stuff there, great hides there, and some great equipment. If you need something and you're in the Spokane area, stop by the cache cave. Closing out the weekend, Sunday, July 16th, from 9 to noon, there's a SOS Sustainability in Action CETO event. Helps to clean up the game board that we all love. That's the
And
Earth.
that on toast will
That could help clean some stuff up too.
clean you
Another
right
news. She says the filmed in Spokane GeoTour is finishing up. All caches will soon be archived. So if that's on your list, get over there and take care of that GeoTour. It's a pretty good one from what I've heard. Sadly, I've not been able to go over and take care of it myself. The coins, however, will be available for sale for $15 after that's they're all archived.
There you go. Hey, we've been running a contest. You probably haven't heard about it because, we only talk about it here every week. We wanted iTunes reviews, and we got a good one from Startcacher. He says, this geocaching-related podcast, as the name implies, will sometimes focus on caching activities in the Pacific Northwest. That's the Northwest continental United States and Southwest Canada. However, the podcast is not restricted to only these regional activities and offers plenty of topics for geocaching enthusiasts everywhere. Even the items that are specific to their region are interesting to hear about. The hosts and guests are always entertaining. The interaction with many of their fans via online chat room during the live recordings of the podcast enhance the value of the information they are providing, as questions can be answered during the show and additional information can be reported. There you go. Thank you, Startcacher. We need more iTunes reviews. Go run over there. Just pause the podcast. We'll wait for you.
So while we're waiting,
No, we're waiting. Okay, we're back.
while we're waiting, how many entries into the contest is that for Star Casher?
Well, you get 2 entries for an iTunes review. You get 2 entries for calling in. You get 1 entry for an email.
All right.
How about that?
I like that. That sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? We've got some more news. This is kind of an interesting little story that was sent to us by our friend Shermanator18, who is now a co-host on a geocaching podcast, on the Geocache Talk podcast. So Shermanator writes and says, "Hello, fellow geocaching podcasters." That would be us.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
She says, "I have made a travel bug whose mission is to get to all of the hosts of the geocaching podcasts. Information about each podcast is included on the travel bug page," and she gives the details there, which we'll post into the chat room for those who are interested. It says, "Feel free to follow along with its travels or mention it on your show if you like." So we're doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "I hope it makes it to each and every one of you. Keep up all the great work you do on your podcasts. Signed, Shermanator18 from Geocache Talk." Well, that is awesome. Thank you, Shermanator18. And that would be very cool if it makes it up here. I think there's almost all the hosts it's trying to get to are in the continental US. There's 2 exceptions that are both in the Commonwealth, one in, I believe, Australia and one here in Canada.
Very cool. I was distracted here momentarily. You posted a poll on social media today, as I recall, Mr. Land Monkey, about friend requests.
I did.
And I'd like to say that got a friend request right this very moment during the podcast. So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what, hashtag FATAS. We're going to talk a little bit more about that Mary Hyde. Darn, I can't remember what they call the thing now. The friend plague. What do they call that?
Yeah, that was it.
League.
League.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, friend request. They like me. They really like me.
There you go. You're someone.
I'm
It's like Steve
someone.
Martin finding his name.
I'm in the phone book. I am somebody. All right, all choked up there because somebody likes me. Hey,
We can't take you anywhere.
no, I got to sit right here on Thursday night and talk to you guys. You know, we've been hearing the news about the BC wildfires. They're particularly bad this year, as they are in many years, but this year's particularly bad. And they've really hit our friends up in Gold Country, where Chris of the Northwest and I visited very recently with our gracious hosts, the Land Monkeys. It was a great trip. We would like to encourage our listeners to do 2 things, not 1, but 2. Number 1, would you please check with the Canadian Red Cross and other organizations about the best way to support those in need? We know that you guys all have generous hearts and want to help, but these people are in the area and organized and can really focus those well wishes there. And also, Tracy from worldcaching.com will be collecting donations at the Metro Vancouver Mary Hyde events this weekend to bring to Kamloops. They're going to get more information to Tracy, and we'll talk about that in the after show. And then number 2, check the website drivebc.com and the BC Wildfire Service websites before making your travel plans for this summer. And be safe out there, because there's a lot of great geocaches up in Gold Country, as the Land Monkeys showed us. And but we want you to be safe when you go looking for those.
Absolutely, yeah, and definitely, if you want to give to help the folks who are hurting because they've been relocated from their homes and some of them have lost just about everything. Definitely, Tracy, we're hoping that you'll be able to give us a little bit more information that we can share in the after show today. But as always, reach out to the Canadian Red Cross and they'll have the information on their website. All right, on to hopefully a little happier topics. The Monte Cristo hike is on for July 29th. So guys, if you want to come along and join us on that fun hike to Monte Cristo, to the ghost town there in Washington State.
Ooh, that's my ghost.
It's going to be on July 29th. The event has been published. That's right. Breakfast at McDonald's. Breakfast.
Hey, order me a parfait. Yeah,
You read my log on the.
I did.
All right. So the GC code for that event is GC78TEQ. But also make sure you check out caching in the northwest.com or no cashingnw.com
Slash
/GCBC
GCBC.
for more information about that hike. We want to have you guys come along and have fun with us.
Yeah, that sounds great. Because, McDonald's doesn't serve chipped beef on toast.
Are you
So,
sure?
Pretty sure.
I'm sure there's a variant that you could get.
I'm sure. Maybe you could bring down some poutine with you.
I don't think that travels well.
Not well. Not that distance.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
we've gone on long enough. We'd
really
like to
have.
bring in our ever so patient host, Peter Lawrance of Metro Vancouver Parks. And Peter, you are welcome back anytime. I love your sense of humor, and your technical skills are par excellence.
Thanks, Chris. Glad to be here.
Welcome. We're really glad to have you. And, for those people that aren't familiar with Metro Vancouver Parks and your role there, maybe you could give us a little bit of background, what your role there is, and tell us all about Metro Van Parks.
Sure. So I've been working with Metro Vancouver Regional Parks for just over 10 years now. I'm a park interpretation specialist, and what that means is I'm part of a team that works to put on field trips for school groups. We put on special events in parks, and lots of programs for the public to come out and appreciate nature.
Very cool. So if you're doing that, I have a question. I'm going to go off script just for a minute because I'm curious about something, Peter. And running the field trips, events, and such. Is there a particular park that you are based out of, or do you work out of the head office and organize teams?
So we have 3 park offices spread across the system, and each one has about 6 or 8 parks that they're responsible for. So I'm in the central area, and I work out of the office at Burnaby Lake Regional Park.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Now, for those who may not know, and a number of our listeners aren't in the Metro Vancouver area, but have definitely traveled up here to visit and check it out since they've been hearing about it on the podcast. Can you describe for us where the Metro Vancouver parks are?
Right. So Metro Vancouver, we're talking about Vancouver, Canada, not Vancouver, Washington, both part of the Northwest. And we are larger than just the city of Vancouver. We're in fact 21 different municipalities plus a First Nation and electoral area. And we span from the south, right at the border with Washington, north to Lions Bay, and from Bowen Island out to Abbotsford.
Wow. That's a big area.
Yeah.
Peter, you had a stat about how many visits you get in the parks per year.
Yeah, so we have about 11 million visits to parks every year. So
Wow.
there's 24 parks in the system, and obviously a lot of people coming to each one of them.
That's as many friend requests as Land Monkey's got this week.
Yeah, no.
Give or take.
10 million of those have to be geocachers. Since we are a geocaching podcast, there are geocaches in the Metro Van parks, are there not?
There are definitely geocaches in our parks. I've found a few on purpose, a few by accident. I took a look at the geocaching.com map, and every single one of our parks has at least one geocache in it. Most of them have a lot more than that. And one that I found really interesting, Pacific Spirit Regional Park has British Columbia's oldest geocache. It's called Tree Hugger. It's GC1DD, if anyone wants to go and find that one. And I think, no, I've forgotten actually what year that came out, but it's been there for quite a long time.
It has been there quite a while. We found that as our 1,000th geocache.
Nice.
Was that in your first year of geocaching?
Second year.
Okay.
We started in August, so.
No, well, it's hard to get through then.
Slacker.
All right. Hey, right off the start, Peter, we've got a question from Brian Lang, in the chat room. And he asked, what project is MV Parks working on in Aldergrove Park, just off of Zero Avenue? It looks like some new ponds are being dug. that?
I don't happen to know, and Aldergrove isn't one of the parks that I work in regularly. My guess is probably that there might be some habitat restoration work for maybe for some amphibian species, but I'm not entirely sure.
Cool. Now, if Brian wanted to get more information about projects like that, where would he go?
For information about that, probably calling into our park head office. And yeah, just asking for that would be in our east area. So asking to be connected to the east area parks, and they could help you there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I would just go up to the guys in the orange vest and say, "Hey, what you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy in the backhoe, he probably doesn't mind being interrupted.
No,
Not at all.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's probably guys standing around just leaning on shovels anyways, right? So.
It has to be at least 3 of them.
I thought that was just the U.S.
Anyways, hey, Peter, we understand that this year is the 50th anniversary of MetroVan Parks. So we're curious if there's anything special going on for that. Leading question.
Yeah, we're doing lots of great things this year for our 50th anniversary. We're really excited about it. One of the new things this year is we have a new display that's going out to visit lots of community events. So if you're not familiar with Metro Vancouver regional parks, you might see us at another event that you go to regularly. We also have a passport this year. And so each of our parks has at least one event that we're hosting this year. And if you come out to that event, you can get your passport stamped. I've got a copy here. I don't know if anyone who's watching this live can see that, but there's the passport. So you can get that stamped at each event. And then if you collect 5 stamps, there's a prize. At 10 stamps, another prize. At 15 stamps, another prize. Stickers, pins, things like that. And then our Pacific Parklands Foundation, which is sort of the charitable organization that works with parks, they're offering some draws also for those people who reach the 10 and 15 stamp levels.
Very cool.
Very cool. That's a great looking passport book, and I'd be excited to look into that myself. So now, not all of us are blessed to be right there in the Metro Vancouver area. So let's say somebody from outside the Vancouver area wants to visit a MetroVan park. Is there anything that you can offer that they should know in advance, some little tips to come visit MetroVan parks?
Well, first of all, I think it's important for people to know that, our parks are not the playground and playing field type parks. These are more natural areas. So, be prepared to be outside, to maybe have some different kinds of terrain, not just sidewalks to walk along. Some of them are nice flat dike top trails. So, that's easy walking. Other ones are more rugged and go into the backcountry. And, the other thing is if you're coming up, Metro Vancouver is pretty big. I have not tried to visit all 24 of our parks in a day, but I imagine that if you're going to do it, it would take an awful lot of planning. Especially there's, a couple of them that you need a boat to get to. So, come up for a couple of days and, take your time visiting them. And if you're coming geocaching, lots of geocaches to find.
We've got a couple of listeners on this show who could, I think, hit all 24 parks in a day. Even the ones with a boat, they would just knock it out.
I think it's probably a challenge for someone. Yeah, it's not impossible, but don't expect to be home before lunch.
There you go. Land Monkey, there's your newest geocache hide. The 24 MetroVan Parks in a Day challenge.
Well, actually, there's a challenge cache that's placed by MetroVan geocachers on Barnston Island. It's called I've cached there or something. I can't remember the name of it. I have to look it up. Or Brian will probably look it up while we're talking.
That's right.
But, it's the premise is you have to have found a cache in each of the regions, each of the 24. I'm not sure if it's each of 24 parks or at least each of the
regions.
21 municipalities, and then the electoral area and First Nation area that Peter's talking about. If you cover all those areas, you can complete that challenge cache.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, for a moment, we're going to jump back to the celebration, that 50th anniversary celebration. We understand there's a smartphone app.
That's right.
For this contest.
Yeah. So if you actually want to do that 24 parks in a day challenge or something like that. There's a smartphone app that complements the passport. Basically, it's the same thing, except that instead of needing to be at a particular event where there's somebody with a stamp to stamp your passport, you can download the app, and when you show up in the park, it uses your phone's GPS to let you know that, yes, you've been there. It provides the stamp virtually for you. And also then if you want to enter into any of the prize draws, once you've got your 10th and 15th stamp, it'll do that automatically online through your phone. So, yeah.
Very cool. Hey, Peter, we've installed, us Land Monkeys have installed the app on our phone and have been started visiting the parks to geocache and collecting the virtual stamps, which is cool. I thought it was a really great idea. One of the things I have to thank you for is the fact that it is not an invasive app. The only part of your phone it wants to talk to is your location. It's the only thing it does. It doesn't want your contacts. It doesn't want, all the other stuff that everybody else's apps want. All you're asking for is just, hey, we just want to know where you are so that we can verify that you're
verify that you've been where you said. Yeah, great.
Right. So first of all, awesome. Nice job on that. And the second thing is, if you're using the app instead of the passport, how do you submit to get entered into the draws or collect the pin or the other stuff? Right.
So if you are using the hard copy, well, actually, if you're using either of them and you want to pick up your prizes, you can come into any of our 3 park offices or to our head office at the info center there, and they can give you those prizes. And then, like I say, the app, if you want to just enter the draws for some of the bigger prizes, I think we have some tents and some headlamps and great things for being outside like that. The app will do that for you. The only thing is, of course, you can't double dip. So if you've done your entry through the app, you can't also do it through the hard copy and claim your prizes twice. But yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. Thank you. So while we're talking about the parks, what other kinds of activities are available in MetroVan parks?
So there's lots of things that people can do in our regional parks. Obviously there's trails for hiking, walking, cycling. There's also some of our parks allow horseback riding. Some of them have access to water if you want to go swimming or canoeing, fishing. And then there's 2 of our parks, Derby Reach and Bray Island, both have campgrounds. So if you want to go camping, that's an option. We also have group campsites at a few of our other parks. So if you have a big group that wants to go camping all together, you can do that. Reservable picnic shelters might be great for a geocaching event get together. Book one of those. And there's some heritage buildings that can be booked for things like meetings and weddings. And then, of course, all of the events that my team helps to put together, they're all in our Check It Out brochure, and you can find that online. So if you want a guided nature walk or canoe trip or go to a great event, we've got one coming up at Belcarra where you can investigate the seashore, and we'll have a biologist bring up a seine net. You can see all sorts of cool creatures of the not so deep, but underwater. There's Meteor Watch in August. So if you like astronomy, that's a great thing to come out to. Lantern lit trail walks and just all sorts of great programs like that. Also, if you're really into getting hands-on and dirty, we have stewardship programs where people can come and do plantings or invasive species pulls. And I know the BC Geocache Association has used that for CETO events in the past.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, we always enjoy coming out for those CETO events. Working with Roy from Metro Parks.
Absolutely.
So many things in so many different parks. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot because, well, that's kind of my thing. What is your favorite MetroVan park?
That's a tough one. I do a little bit of geocaching, but I'm also a bird watcher. So Boundary Bay and Iona Beach are really great parks for that. But if I really want to get out in nature, see some beautiful scenery, feel like I'm out of the city, then probably Minnetonka Regional Park is the park that I like to go to.
Very cool.
Nice.
Now, we all want to get out and have fun, but we all want to be safe and play by the rules. So not to be too legalistic, but are there any special access or usage rules that geocachers or really any other visitors should be aware of with respect to the MetroVan parks?
Yeah, well, I guess, in general, we want to make sure that people have a safe visit. And so, stay aware that you are going out into natural areas, even if, you've kind of parked just outside the city or almost in the city. Let someone know where you're going, bring water, an extra jacket, something like that, in case things go wrong. Be aware too that, a number of our parks do have bears and other wild animals. So, think about what you might do if you encounter a bear. And most of all, especially for geocachers, we have a geocaching policy. It can be found on our website. But the most important thing is that we just ask people to stay on trails. We have 2 mandates in regional parks, and one is to help people connect to nature, and geocaching is a great way to do that. But the other is to protect natural areas. So we don't want to see a lot of habitat trampled or, paths leaving off to the side. And I think for the most part, from what I've seen, the geocaching community is really good about that. Most of the caches are pretty much in arm's reach of the trail. So that's perfect. That's what we like to see.
Awesome. So Peter, that sounds like really the key information that you want to make sure sticks in the minds of geocachers looking to visit the Metro Vancouver parks is that, the stay on the trails, and don't disturb the wildlife.
Yeah, those are the key things. And otherwise, just come out and really enjoy.
Awesome.
I think a lot of geocachers feel that way anyway. We all want to have fun, but we don't want the environment to get trampled, so we can all continue to have fun for a long time to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So that's about it that we had for questions for you, Peter. And we really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing with that. We'll ask you to stick around. Hashtag FATAS.
All right.
After show, but we'll hit our closing comments here, and I'm sure we've had a few things come up in the chat that people want to hear about some more, which is great. But speaking of things to share, dear listeners, it's time for a little more Caching NW clickbait, and that's right. Here's what's coming up in the next few weeks on Caching NW. July 20th, 2008, just like you heard earlier, the Spokane Geo Tour is going to be our topic with Lookout Lisa and I assume Kid Vegas 18. Very cool. I see the Chris of the Northwest nodding.
I did a very loud thumbs up. Yes, I agree with that statement.
I heard it. It hurt my ears. Don't thumb up so loud.
Sorry.
Stop it. All right. Hey, and then the following week, July 27th, is episode 209. Ooh, we're getting up there, folks. That is going to be Project GC, and we're going to talk about what's the virtual GPS and how do I use it. That is really interesting. Looking forward to that one also.
Yeah. Is that just virtual caches? Is that?
No, it's beyond that.
I'm going to tune in on July 27th and find out for myself.
You should. Everybody should tune in. We'll have Magnus from Project GC with us.
Nice.
And then August 3rd, we are going to do a total eclipse of the heart. No, there will be no singing.
Oh.
Okay, maybe there will be singing. It won't be singing by me because you will never come back and listen to another episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Thank you.
But if you haven't heard, you've been missing out. A solar eclipse is coming our way. And we are going to do an episode talking about all about the solar eclipse, how it happens, why it happens, and all the but where to go.
Observe it.
Best places to observe it right here in the Northwest. So, folks, until next week, where can our listeners find out more about MetroVan parks on this worldwide interweb that we spend our days on?
We are at metrovancouver.org, and you can find regional parks under the services tab. There's also under the events tab, you can find our Check It Out brochure for all the events that are happening. And we have a Facebook page, Metro Vancouver Regional Parks.
Love it.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Peter. We really appreciate you having you on. Like I said, you're welcome back anytime. But until then, Land Monkey, where can people stalk you on the internet?
Well, apparently on my geocaching.com profile page, but also on our website, which is landmonkey.blogspot.ca, and where we really encourage people to follow us and join us for our adventures on Twitter and Instagram. We're at LandMonkeyGC. And of course, as always, check out our videos on YouTube. Just search YouTube for Land Monkey. My friend Witsend, how about you?
Well, you could probably find me right here Thursday nights, actually.
Nailed it. Found you.
Outside of Thursday night, there's a lot of places. You can search for Wits End and find me in a lot of places, but probably the easiest, quickest is to go to either Facebook or Twitter.com/witsend. How about that? That's quick and easy. Chris?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me if you still use Google+. Just look for Caching NW. You know what? All that is so hard to write down, especially while you're driving and you're looking for that notebook and pen. Just head on over to cachingnw.com/hosts and read our bios and find all the links we just mentioned and maybe an Instagram link or two that we didn't post, right? Or we didn't mention here that is posted there. That's what I wanted to say.
Nice.
Seems legit.
Yeah,
all right.
Thanks. I tried to cover that.
Well, you know what? Speaking of covering things, once more, we want to just thank you. Thank you, listeners, for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Remember that you can be a part of the show by calling 253-693-TFTC and leaving us a comment, asking a question, or cleaning our refrigerator any time of the day or night. Of course, you can please not clean my refrigerator at night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com and your support. It does help keep quality shows coming. So if you like this show and you want Peter to come back and us to go away, please click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website and close the cover before striking. This show is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2017 by Chris Umpenauer. Now, folks, stay tuned for...
There we go. We're officially done with the regular show. Now,
All right.
the after show, or the
after show,
as we need to say here, is just a informal time of questions and answers. We've gotten posts in the chat that may not fit into some of the topics that we've talked about, but we always want to talk about what our listeners are doing. So Tracy from World Caching says, I posted a link from the Red Cross BC Wildfire Appeal on my World Caching Facebook page.
Very nice.
Nice. And timely in the chat room, Briarlang asks, "Hey, Land Monkey, is your refrigerator running?"
Oh, I'll go check. Hold on.
Okay.
And we've lost Line Monkey. He'll
Okay.
look in the refrigerator and spend his day wondering if that light bulb stays on.
That's all right. Easily amused, easily distracted.
Oh, Team Finn. Oh, wait. He says part 2. Maybe I missed Team Finn part 1, Fatas.
I think his part 1 was #Fatas, quickest FTF. I have a story.
Aha.
Aha.
The
Okay,
part.
got it.
And then Fatas part 2, MC3 Cats happened to stop by our house and talk about caching and whatnot. I heard my phone buzz, and it was our TB hotel publishing 100 feet away. He casually walked over and signed the log.
How handy is that?
That sounds very familiar, like a cache I did in BC.
Yeah, it does sound exactly like what we did in the Richmond Geo Tour. That was funny. That's Chris of the Northwest's speedy FTF, for which you got a prize, didn't you?
I think so.
Maybe. You got an email that you could get a prize? I'm not sure.
I think I did that.
Let's say yes.
All right. Sounds good. But yes, similar story.
All
right.
Wino Seattle wants to know what you're drinking, Land Monkey.
Of course, Wino Seattle wants to know what I'm drinking. So tonight I am working my way through the Across the Nation collaboration Canada 150 12-pack of beers from various provinces and territories. Of course, we have 13 provinces and territories, so somebody got left out. Apparently, we'll have none of it. Thank you for the pity laugh.
Nice. Nice.
All right, so this one tonight is a Hefeweizen from Newfoundland, or Newfoundland, depending on how you choose to pronounce that, from Quidi Vidi Brewery. And my Latin is really bad, so I probably pronounced that wrong. But Kitty Vidi?
I think it's Kitty Vitty.
Kitty Vidi? There you go.
Yeah, I spent a summer there. Well,
Oh.
Newfoundland. And it's Newfoundland to rhyme with understand.
Ah,
If you want to know how to pronounce it, not Newfoundland.
brilliant. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Again, so thankfully you're on the show.
Kitty video. Isn't that what YouTube is for? Watching kitty videos?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I love it. So yeah, there you go, Wino Seattle. That's what's going on tonight. Team Finn says, hashtag FATAS, has anyone here gotten an ape tag? What's that all about?
I don't know.
I have a skin tag.
Is it one of these?
Ooh.
Ooh. The caching in the Northwest. It's not in, well, it's Bigfoot stealing the ape cache. There you go.
There you go.
Find us. We'll give you one. There you go. Wait,
All right.
did I just have people stalk me? Did I
Probably.
just invite them to stalk me?
Perhaps.
So, speaking of inviting people to stalk you,
No. Oh, okay.
I got to ask some questions here. So this is my hashtag FATAS contribution. So Friend League.
Friend flag, you said?
Yeah, that's the one. The Friend League is so here's the quote from geocaching.com, I believe. The Friend League is a brand new feature on geocaching.com. It's a leaderboard that shows you and your friends' geocaching activity. If you log a cache, attend event, or complete another geocaching task, you'll collect a specific number of gold coins. But there's more to the Friend League than friendly competition. You can see a total score of all gold coins you collected together as a team, and you can see what your friends have done to earn those coins. So I think that's great. The further gamification, etc., is cool. Now, the one thing that happened is they launched the Friend League thing and immediately started promoting, hey, friend everybody to, friend or, connect with friends and blah, 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 blah. The other thing I noticed is a few of the geocaching vloggers and podcasters on Twitter started posting right away, here's my geocaching nickname, friend me, because they wanted just everybody to friend them on Twitter. And I thought, well, that's fine. That's your choice. You can do that. But definitely, I don't know if anybody else is finding this, but I'm getting a lot of friend requests from people. Maybe you're listeners to the show, but I've never met you. I don't know who you are. And kind of, to be honest, the policy Mrs. Landmonkey and I have with our social media accounts is that we pretty much don't friend people if we haven't met them. If we don't know you, we pretty much don't friend you on sites like that. Now that the difference is on, of course, Twitter and Instagram, it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you've sent me a friend request on geocaching.com and we've never met, I may be a little reluctant to add you on there just to sort of give you the heads up. If we have met, just, can you make some sort of comment in the friend request so that maybe I know? If it's not somebody who I see often, I might not remember your geocaching name. So,
Like, I've seen you through the window. I'm watching you now. Those kind of comments.
Yeah, that might be a little bit creepy
Oh, okay.
and might not help your case. Just say it.
So on this theme, I posted a Twitter poll this morning, and I said, would you accept a geocaching website friend request from someone you don't know? And the last time I looked at the poll shortly before the show, 31% of respondents said yes, and 69% said no. So it seems like, the majority is kind of weighing in on the side
Just
that I feel about.
As an aside there, I'm looking at it right now. I just clicked my vote. The vote currently is 27% sure, why not? 73% no, only people I know.
There you go. So yeah, that's been interesting. Yeah, I think that one got a little bit out of hand on geocaching.com.
You think?
They had a great idea. They launched it, and I don't know, perhaps didn't quite think through the repercussions.
Well, the friends feature in geocaching.com has been sitting there so long with very little usage. I think it's fine that they're going to promote it, that it will actually do something.
Yeah.
So, I look at it, they're just promoting it. I've used it for a couple of years, not for anything, important, but I've kept up a friend here and there. So it's interesting.
I was just going to say, for example,
Yes,
Wino
please.
Seattle contacted me on the friends list and asked to be a friend. And yeah, we've cached together. So I know you, and yeah, I added you in. But
Wino says, make sure you add him. He's going to go find 300 caches this weekend.
There you go.
or week.
busy.
Go find 300 caches next week.
Nice.
So does the friends do anything right now? Not really. Bryling in the chat posted the link for the your friend league points. So
Yeah. Interestingly enough, there's nothing on the menu. You can't actually get at it from the menu. You have to have the URL.
Well, no, if you go to your friends,
Yeah.
right underneath the tabs is get motivated with your friend league. And you
Oh,
can
is it
put the
there?
link
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I was going off the menu because I looked at the URL, which was under the /play. So I went to the /play or to the play drop down box on the menu, and there was no option for it.
Nice.
Because that sort of made sense based on the URL. Anyways, enough about Friend League.
Team Finn says, I watch you on the internet every Thursday. Will you be my geo friend?
That's not creepy at all.
Tell you what, Team Finn, as soon as we've cashed together sometime, maybe after the hike to Monte Cristo, then you're in.
There you go.
Have it? Let's see. I've seen them a couple of times. I think you've been with me.
Have I?
I don't know.
I have to apologize. I don't recall the specific instance.
Some people you may not have actually met, but you feel like you've met them because in a log posting, they called you a fool.
Yeah, that can happen.
It could happen. I'm just kind of speaking hypothetically. No, I'm not.
You're not speaking hypothetically at all, are you?
Yeah, if you're out there and you called me a fool, you know who you are. Hey, help me figure out just exactly what's going on. Because, well, I've got the little trackable you're talking about right here. So, anyway.
Ouch.
Stop fooling around with 10. Oh, man. Good times. Good times.
Oh,
Right.
Team Finn's never met the monkey.
There you go. Well, we'll have to fix that at some point in time.
In 3 dimensions.
You know,
Probably
if
not
you-
even 2.
If you'd met the monkeys, you'd know.
Oh, it would be burned in your
Yeah.
memory.
And if you knew the monkeys like I know the monkeys, you'd appreciate the monkeys like I appreciate the monkeys.
Aw. We appreciate you too, Wits End.
It's funny he took that as a compliment.
There's a backstory there. Never mind.
All right.
Oh, so Tracy wants to know, how do you get more points? You get points by your friends finding caches. I
And
believe. Yeah.
yeah,
So-
so it's find caches, attend events, and find caches with 10 or more favorite points.
So if you have, friends who actually go out and find caches, make sure they're on the friends list, or don't put me on there because I've got nothing right now. Maybe that's why, Land Monkey, you've got so many finds. Everybody wants you.
Well, what's funny is that we do, but we pretty much cache on the weekends. So right now we're sitting at 0 in the league scoreboard, but that will dramatically change over the weekend.
Aren't you hosting an event this weekend?
Yeah, we are actually.
So maybe that's where all the friends are coming from. They're like, I'm gonna come and meet you there, and it's like a preemptive friending.
It could be. It could be. So maybe I'm expecting some visitors from Indiana. Oh, it's funny.
They can get up there. They're allowed to.
They are, as long as they've got a legit passport. Anyways, hey, Brylang had some information about the WSGA.
Yes.
The tag thing.
So
or the tag.
it's nothing to do with cashing in the NorthWest Ape tag, though we'll still give you one if you ask,
That's right.
because these are limited edition. However, it looks like the WSGA is hiding 158 tags and are posting coordinates. If you find one, you get a geocoin. So they're posting them all around Washington State. If you find one, you can turn it in for a prize at the Going Ape event.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That is cool. Yeah. So I would head over to, I believe it's WSGA Online, WSGA.
So thanks to
WSGAonline.org and start looking there.
Okay. Sweet.
And they have a pretty new webpage.
Do they?
Yes.
There you go. I like the WSGA. They do good stuff. All right. Yeah. So it was mentioned that we're hosting an event. Thanks, Peter. That will be in New West at 6:30 p.m. down along the boardwalk. I got a little bit nervous when I noticed that the New West Key Night Market is going on in front of the market at the Key, but we're far enough away from it. We should be good. We should be clear of all that.
That's because they want to be your friends too.
But we're getting lots and lots of people posting little tins, which will be great. Really looking forward to that and meeting new friends, getting lots of fun there. We're gonna have some cool games. So let's just say that Dora Moore, myself, and 6 Noisy Hikers have all collaborated on the games and props and such for this event. And Dora Moore and 6 Noisy Hikers are of Cachapult fame. So let's, sort of leave it at that. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh, the Cachapult, the legendary Cachapult.
Yes, launched signal into Canada via the Cachapult.
There you go. So it's going to be fun. All right. I think that's about it we had for #FATAS for tonight. Yes.
Pretty close. Yeah. If you're out there listening live and you're free this weekend, come sail the 7 seas with Mary Hyde in Tacoma. Just saying.
There you go.
Might run into a host or two.
Pirate hats.
Nice. Well, hey, Peter, we really want to thank you for hanging out with us in the after show.
It's been great.
It's been great having you on the show.
Thanks.
And maybe just as a reminder, if people want to find out more about MetroVan Parks and the activities going on there, where again would you point them?
So come to the website, metrovancouver.org. You can search there for the 50th anniversary, and there's a webpage for that, or you can look under the events and get our Check It Out brochure that has all the events and happenings that are going on.
Very cool. And if you're planning on heading up to the Metro Vancouver area and you want to install that app to start collecting your virtual passport stamps, I believe you can just download it off of iTunes or the Google Play Store. Is that correct?
That's right.
Sweet.
Nice.
Love it.
Awesome. All right. Well,
that's it. And folks, until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.